Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee, and welcome back to the FPL Punk YouTube channel, where we try to dominate FPL one game week at a time. In today's video, I will do a review of my current progress in game week 15, then I'll discuss my team selection for game week 16, talk about my current transfer plans, and look at the best captain. If you enjoy FPL content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and drop a comment down below, and tell me what transfers you are planning for game week 16. Anyway, let's rock and roll.
Be strong.
Right, mate, not a lot has happened so far in game week 15, but I have had a few players play that have actually managed to return some points. I've currently got 23 points so far in the game week, and I've got a small green arrow up to 46k. I had a really bad game week in game week 14, so hopefully a chance of redemption in game week 15. Rico Lewis with a very strange game week so far, where his team conceded a couple goals, he gets a goal and then gets a second yellow card and gets sent off. Ends up coming out with a 4-pointer, which is 1 point more than he's managed in the last 5 game weeks combined, so I'll take that all day long. Possibility that is like he's on the chopping block this week. I don't really like him in my team, and I think there's better options out there, so there's a strong possibility that he will get transferred out. Bruno coming in with a massive 9-pointer for me. He did score yesterday, which was really nice. He did get taken off early again, which is slight cause of concern that he's not a 90-minute man anymore. Eze with a 2-pointer who auto-subbed in for Mo Salah. I didn't want to kind of force the transfers when I felt it was better to kind of save the transfer and roll it into game week 16. So play what I've got. Crystal Palace still scored 2 goals. I would have thought before the game, if Crystal Palace scored 2 goals, Eze would be involved in some way or another. Anyway, he wasn't, is what it is, and it's just one of those. And Chris Wood again coming in with a massive 8-pointer and scoring a pretty good goal against Man United. Scored the 3rd goal. Ball gets whipped in from the wing. He kind of heads it back across and the direction where it came from, and kind of loops into the far corner. It was actually a really nice header, to be fair. Flecken got a 3-pointer. He did get an assist as well, but he still only managed to get 3 points. Vandenberg with 0 points. Anderson is injured, and Mo Salah didn't play because the Liverpool-Everton game was postponed. So I've got nobody else on the bench. So if the likes of Gabriel doesn't play today, then I've got nobody else to come on for him. I've still got the likes of Verbruggen away to Leicester, as well as João Pedro, and Brighton is away to Leicester there. So I'm pretty hopeful of getting some returns in that game. Got a couple of Arsenal boys with Saka and Gabriel. Both need to play there as well. So once again, pretty hopeful for returns in that. Still got my captain to play, Cole Palmer away to Spurs. Again, I'm pretty hopeful in that all the players I've got left to play are all playing away from home, which isn't ideal. But I think it's just a case of playing whatever you've got this week and just kind of see what happens. Overall, I think I should end on either a kind of decent green arrow or kind of stagnate around 50k. I'll probably take that, considering I've not had a great couple of weeks so far. I've got a couple of transfer plans that I do want to discuss later on in the video, but let's take a look at my current team selection for game week 16. Right, mates, before we discuss the goalkeeper and the defence for game week 16, my team value is 102.5 million. I've got 0.2 in the bank, and I've got 2 free transfers. I have opted for Verbruggen over Flecken, because Flecken is playing Chelsea away from home in game week 16, and I think Verbruggen is the better goalkeeper for that, where he's got Crystal Palace at home. Right, I've still got some decent fixtures coming up with the likes of Palace, West Ham, Brentford, Villa and Arsenal in the next 5. I am playing these 3 defenders here because my other 2 defenders, Rico Lewis and Anderson, are both probably going to be out for game week 16. And Rico Lewis is suspended for the Man United game, and Anderson is struggling with a calf or some kind of leg injury, and he's a doubt for the Liverpool game, but I wouldn't play him in that game anyway. Gabriel is still yellow flagged, and we don't know if he's going to play. It'd be interesting to see if he does play today up against Fulham. By the time I have recorded this video, and we will get some team news about whether Gabriel is starting, and maybe that yellow flag isn't an issue at all, and I can just play him for that game week 16 game up against Everton. Arsenal got a great run of games now with Everton, Palace, Ipswich, Brentford and Brighton all in the next 5. Happy playing him. I'm happy playing him in every single one of these games. I'm currently playing Vandenberg just because I don't have any other defender. So I think that's a cause of concern for me, and I think I need to make a defender transfer. We'll discuss some transfer plans later on in the video. I'm not quite sure which way I want to go in terms of, do I want to go right into the premium end and look at the likes of Trent and Virgil and Gvardiol, or do I want to kind of keep it around that 4 to 4.5 million? Look at the likes of Colwell, Lewis Hall, Kirkes. Not really sure. I think I'm leaning more towards the premium end and looking at the likes of Trent, but that would that would force me to have to make a transfer elsewhere in the team, and that's probably going to come in the midfield area. So when I start discussing the midfield, I'll kind of say the way I'm thinking of transferring out. I've got 8 Norway playing here as well, and this is all dependent on whether he's actually going to play. He's on 3 yellow cards, and if he gets booked in game week 15, he's playing Monday night. So like, whether he gets booked or not, like, remains to be seen. I'm really hopeful that he is going to avoid that yellow card. If he did get booked, I would probably transfer out 8 Norway and one of the other defenders. So I've got 3 better defenders, and I'll probably end up taking a hit in that case. If all my players play, I'm pretty happy playing them. But that third defender slot where Vandenberg is currently playing is a little bit of cause of concern. I'm probably going to have to make a transfer there. Moving on to the midfield, and first up, we've got Cole Palmer, 11.1 million now, 59.4% owned. Got a nice run of games now with Brentford, Everton, Fulham, Ipswich, and Crystal Palace. And there's a strong consideration that he could even be captain in a few of those games here. It'll be really interesting to see how he does up against Spurs, where he is my captain for game week 15, and he is a strong consideration for captaincy in game week 16 up against Brentford. Next up, we've got Bruno Fernandes away to Man City, and he's strong consideration to be transferred out this game week to allow me some funds to make some changes in defense. And it's a bit of a shame because I think he's playing pretty well recently. Not as attacking as I thought he would be under Amarin, but I think that's just still getting used to the system and everything like that. But I think if you can hold him, I think that Bournemouth and Wolves game and even the Newcastle game at home, I think are all good games for Bruno Fernandes. I still like him as a pick, and he's going to keep scoring points. He's still on penalties as well. I think I just need to take him out because I have to get some money into my defense, because I've got major issues there, and with the likes of Rico Lewis and Anderson both being out, and I'm forced to play Vandenberg, and we don't know if Gabriel's going to play in that game as well. So there's a lot of things up in the air where I'm almost forced to make some changes there. Next up, we've got Bukayo Saka, 10.5 million, 42.5% owned, and his ownership and his price is just going up on a daily basis, and they've just got a great run of games there now from an attacking point of view as well. Everton at home, Palace away, Ipswich at home, Brentford and Brighton away after that. And I just love him as a pick. I think he's just an absolute beast. I've got no issues keeping him. I'm playing him for the next 5 weeks, and I think Arsenal have even got some good games after that as well. So I've got no concerns about playing him at all, and he could even be captain in a game or two over the next 5. And last but not least, we've got Mo Salah, Fulham at home in game week 16. Great game, strong consideration for captaincy in game week 16. Spurs away, I don't even mind that as a fixture. Like we've all seen how inconsistent Spurs have been from a defensive point of view, so I wouldn't even mind playing him in that game as well. And with him being with the Liverpool Everton game being postponed, he's had a week rest between this and the Fulham game now, so I think he's going to be the freshest out the lot. So that's the reason why he's one of the strongest considerations for captaincy in game week 16. After the Spurs game, a few good games once again. Leicester, West Ham and Man United, and we all know how good he has been against Man United in the past. Overall, really happy with the midfield. I've still got Eze on the bench. He's just up against Brighton, and I kind of just hedging my bets and playing my Brighton boys as opposed to Crystal Palace. I don't think Eze's firing all cylinders right now, and he's still not 100% fit. I still like keeping him as a kind of short to medium term hold, because Crystal Palace's fixtures do get better on game week 18 or so, and if I sold him now, I'm probably gonna want to buy him back around game week 18. Might be better just to keep him, unfortunately, and his price is dropping all the time. It's just one of those. Overall, pretty happy with the midfield. I'm happy playing every single one of these so far. Just Bruno Fernandes might have to make way so I can make some changes in the defense. Let's take a look at the forwards. Last but not least, we've got the forwards, and first up is Chris Wood, 6.6 million, 22.5% owned. Just coming back off a 8-pointer versus Man United, and he's got a few good games coming up here as well, and he just feels like a hold right now. I just don't see a world in what I sell him like anytime soon. When he's got the likes of Aston Villa at home, I don't mind playing Chris Wood in a home fixture. Brentford away, we've all seen how good Brentford are from a goal scoring point of view at home, but they're still conceding goals. And they won 4-2 on the weekend. Chris Wood could easily get one of those goals up against Brentford away there. Spurs at home, we've all seen how leaky Spurs have been recently. Everton away, and then Wolves away. I cannot even mind playing him in in the next 5 games. He might be a hold for me, to be honest. João Pedro up next, 5.9 million. Same as Bukayo Saka, his price just seems to just rise on a daily basis. 21.7% owned. great short-term fixtures with Crystal Palace, West Ham and Brentford in the next 3, followed by Aston Villa and Arsenal. And I just love him as a pick. I just think he's an absolute monster. Like, I'm happy playing him in every single game week now. And he's such a budget option that even if I've got to bench him against the likes of Aston Villa and Arsenal, like, I wouldn't mind doing that as well. Matthias Cunha feels like his time's running out. He's got the next 2 games against Ipswich and Leicester, and he's probably a transfer out after that. If I am forced to keep him over the next 5, I wouldn't probably mind it, because he has got 2 home games up against Man United and Forest. That Spurs away fixture is probably not great. The Man United fixture is probably not great as well. But if I am forced to play him, like, I wouldn't mind doing it at all. I think for this week in particular, I'm happy playing all 3 of these players. I think my main concern now is defense and midfield. I'm probably going to be forced to make some changes there, unfortunately, and I might have to take a hit. So these are my current transfer plans for game week 16. I'm either going to transfer out Rico Lewis. If nothing else happens, it's probably going to be Rico Lewis. If Aït-Nouri gets booked, then it's probably going to be Aït-Nouri to Alexander-Arnold. And I think I just need to improve that midfield. Just overall, I've got bad players playing for bad teams that aren't keeping any kind of clean sheets, and I think I just need to do something drastic. Getting a good defender who offers an attacking threat, and that's just Trent Alexander-Arnold. Absolute monster. I've got 2 free transfers. That's probably going to fit the first free transfer. Second free transfer to fund that move, because I've only got 0.2 in the bank right now. It's probably going to have to be Bruno Fernandes down to someone like a Semenyo. I could do someone like a Morgan Rogers as well and give me even more money. If I decided to take a hit, Bruno Fernandes might have to go to Morgan Rogers, so I've got more money in the bank. And then I could either do Rico Lewis or Aït-Nouri, and then take one of those to another defender. Maybe one of the Arsenal boys, depending on fitness and things like that, and take that to somebody like a Timber. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. I'm probably going to have to take a hit this week, unfortunately. But like, it's a strong consideration for me to get Trent in. I think I just need to get some good defenders in. And the only way that I can do it is to take out Bruno Fernandes. And I don't really want to sell him. Like, I wish I could hold him. Like, he's up against Man City this week, and I think we could easily score. And usually when we do score, Bruno Fernandes is kind of there or thereabouts. So might have to be something that I do this week. Not something that I really like right now, but I have got until the Monday game where Wolves play, and so I'm probably going to wait till then as a minimum, and then kind of assess it from there. But then my current transfer plans. Leave a comment down below if you think I'm missing anybody, or if you think I should take a hit for game week 16. Right, mates, the last thing I wanted to discuss was captaincy for game week 16, and for me it's between 2 players, Cole Palmer and Mo Salah. I've got some predicted points in the middle, followed by the fixture and the previous record. Cole Palmer is predicted to get 7.9 points according to FPL Review, as opposed to Mo Salah 7.4. So Cole Palmer is predicted slightly more points. Fantasy Football Hub agrees with this prediction, and predicts Cole Palmer is going to get 8.1 points as opposed to Mo Salah's 7.9. Both players are playing at home. Chelsea playing Brentford at home, and we're all seeing how bad Brentford have been away from home, so I think this is a really good game for Cole Palmer. I do think Liverpool have got a good fixture in Fulham at home once again. Probably the only thing I don't like about that is that Mo Salah is going to be up against Anthony Robinson, and I really like Robinson. Like, I think he's a class left back. So like, could he do a number on Mo Salah and kind of shut him down? I'm not convinced at all. Like, Mo Salah's got a decent previous record against Fulham, where he's played 8 games with 4 goals and 1 assist. Cole Palmer's only played Brentford 3 times in his short career so far, with no goals and 1 assist. This is probably quite a close one, and I think it's going to be 50-50, like, for a lot of people. But for me, I think with the predicted points of Cole Palmer and the fact that I think Brentford are so poor away from home, I think I'm probably going to captain Cole Palmer. It probably all comes down to the games today about how well Cole Palmer can play against Spurs. If Cole Palmer puts in a good showing against Spurs, then it's a strong consideration for me to go ahead and captain Cole Palmer. Who are you going to captain in game week 16? Leave a comment down below. For me, going to be Cole Palmer. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. So we discussed my in-progress game week 15, and then looked at my team selection for game week 16, looked at some transfer plans, and then looked at the 2 best captains. And I think it's going to be Cole Palmer for me for game week 16. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. Have a good day. Peace and love. Good luck for game week 16.